If you've been following along with the election audit in Maricopa County, Arizona, you're probably aware of a set of emails from the Senate Republican president, Karen Fann, being released via a Freedom of Information Act request. Now, a lot is being made of these emails, but the most important one that the media wants you to know, the most important thing, is that this audit is definitely 100% a sham, and that Karen Fann not only knows it, but she believes it and admits it in secret emails that she would never, ever have a possibility of getting released. That is definitely the case. It's a sham audit that no one believes in, and you got to know it too, right? Well, let's talk about it. I'm Nick Requeda of Requeda Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I'm a lawyer. I'm also a legal and political commentator on YouTube and on Odyssey. So wherever you're watching, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any videos. Okay, so what am I talking about? Is this thing a sham? Does everybody know it? Well, no, of course it's not a sham. Of course it's not a sham audit. And of course, Karen Fann does not believe that it's a sham. However, there are some representations being made that should be addressed, and we can talk about those and what they actually mean. I think it's useful to talk about this stuff. So, you're going to find two varieties of topics coming on of headlines, I should say, coming out of the mainstream media on this topic. We've got one that is talking about how Karen Fann is thanking President Trump and talking about private meetings that she's had with Rudy Giuliani, Trump, and Trump's legal team on this audit. And then you're going to find another set where she is quote unquote admitting that this is all a sham and the audit has no purpose. You know what? Like, I don't know. I mean, you guys know this. You guys know this. This is media spin on what they've got out of emails that are taken outside of the context in which they're written, outside of the timeline in which they're written. I mean, sure, you can go in and look at the 500 different emails, but no one's really doing that, right? The expectation is that you'll take the headline from the news story's purpose, and you'll just sort of casually incorporate that into your own mindset. They don't even care if you read the article. But in emails obtained by a watchdog group, Fann says Biden won the election. This is from ABC News. And this is what I'm kind of getting at here. The way they categorize this audit is dismissive of its purpose and intent. But Karen Fann has been very clear about the purpose and intent of the audit the entire time she's done it. She said, the purpose of this audit is to ensure election integrity, which is the purpose of every audit. But see, the news wants it to be a dramatic battle between getting Trump into office and all of this stuff. But Trump is not likely to be put into office as the result of an audit, specifically not the Arizona audit, because it would not be enough. It would not be enough electoral votes, even if Arizona were to somehow decertify and be flipped over for Trump. Would not be enough electoral votes to instate him as president versus Joe Biden. And I know Sidney Powell said that Trump could be simply reinstated, but it's not so simple as that. There's not a simple mechanism by which to remove a sitting president and instate a different president. But that being said, that's what the media wants to focus on. They want to similarly focus on something that they know is not an easy proposition, not a legal reality, and not a constitutional process at all. So the goal of the audit has always been to go ahead and check the integrity of the election. And there are lots of people in Arizona with serious doubts about the election integrity that happened in Arizona and in specific in Maricopa County. Those people are Karen Fann's constituents, and she has been asked to go ahead and conduct this audit. She is doing it to find out if those questions are valid. That is the method by which we disprove claims or prove claims. You go through and you actually test it. That's what's going on here. That has been the goal the whole time. The media is always trying to make the goal out as this is some sort of secret insurrection or coup attempt or something like that. But an audit can't do that. An audit can only provide you information by which you can then act. And the intent of the Arizona legislature at this point is to take the information from the audit and act on it in whatever way is appropriate. Maybe they'll determine that that's decertifying the election results, which would be a weird process at this point in the game, but maybe that's what they'll do. I suppose if they find enough fraud, enough irregularity, that they might actually attempt to do something like that. But generally speaking, it's probably more about what they do with election law going into 2022 and 2024 to ensure that things are verifiable, have integrity, and have the faith of the Arizona voters as they head into the polls. That is the goal of the audit. So Arizona Senate President Karen Fann discussed the so-called audit of Maricopa. And you can see the media slant right there, right? The so-called audit. I mean, it is an audit. They're auditing the ballots. They're looking at them by hand. They're imaging them with their own technology, and then they're going to have an electronic analysis of the images that they obtain. That's an audit. The results of that audit are then to be interpreted by the person requesting the audit. I don't know if people understand this, but an audit is just a process of review conducted with an assigned methodology. And there's no singular methodology that is the appropriate one. There's just the one that the person requesting the audit likes. They go with that. They get the audit results, and then they implement the policy. The auditors do not have any policy-making power. They don't have anything that they can do about this. The audit is to gather data from an existing set of evidence. That's it. So the so-called audit, it just is an audit of Maricopa County ballots with former President Donald Trump, who thanked her for pursuing it, according to emails released to left-leaning government watchdog group American Oversight after a Freedom of Information Act request. The emails released on Friday, many of which were written on Fann's smartphone, spanned from late November to mid-May. In them, the Republicans describes the post-election review as a way to ensure voters' confidence in the election process. Of course it is. Voter confidence in the election is in the tank. And I'm sure many people in the comment section will tell me how little faith they have in the election system right now. There's a growing gap of faith in it, especially amongst Republicans. And that has been a goal, that has frankly been a goal of the mainstream media for a while, is to disenchant and dishearten Republican voters. That has been pretty clear throughout this entire process, and it's working. And it's working. Republican voters are disenchanted with the election process. But that being said, the purpose of this audit is to somehow restore faith in that process. And I think the audit itself should restore some faith. The fact that they're even doing it should restore some faith in it. They've done it. They've done it through independent contractors. They've done it through contractors that the constituents wanted. That alone is an act of restoring faith in the system, regardless of what the results will be. So it's a way to ensure voters' confidence in the election process, despite the fact that a hand recount and 2 independent reviews in Maricopa County showed no evidence of widespread irregularities or fraud. Okay, so this is where we get some information on the emails. So in response to criticism of the audit, Karen Fann suggested it was a way to disprove conspiracies and improve the system. Again, audits are data. That's it. Audits are a collection of data on an existing set of evidence, and that review allows people to make informed decisions. She's not telling anything that should surprise anyone here. The thing that would be surprising would be her saying, "We expect this audit to overturn the election." That would be the headline shocking news. But frankly, everything that I've seen so far from these emails is rather mundane. She's telling people, look, Biden is a certified winner of Arizona. The audit here is because 45% of Arizonans wanted this audit. 45% of people say there were serious problems with the election, and we want to clear up those concerns. That's her job as Senate president. That is the job of the Senate in making sure they are competently creating election law, and that the election law that is on the books is competently handling the election process. And that is how they restore confidence in it. They're trying to make a lot out of Giuliani and Trump thanking her. Well, yes, of course they thanked her. Giuliani and Trump were looking for any potential evidence that something was amiss in the election, because they have strong beliefs that there's something amiss in the election, as do tons of people around the country. This is not some sort of weird fringe theory as much as the media wants it to be. A lot of people have questions about the 2020 election, and these people are trying to get answers on it. So of course, Trump and Giuliani were going to be thankful and appreciative of the efforts, knowing the political capital that Karen Fann is having to burn to do this, and the beating she was going to take in the media, and has taken and continues to take. That being said, we'll see what the audit is doing. It's about to wrap up with the physical hand portion of it, and then we've got a little bit of extra time coming up for them to actually do some of the digital work and then compile a report with the audit results, which will then be turned over to the Senate GOP to do with what they will. So what do you think they're going to do? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know what state you think is next. Looking like Pennsylvania has got some motion, some momentum maybe going in there. Anxious to see your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Peace. Peace.